Hey guys, it's Baylee Littrell on the Zach Zang Show. Talking about my career. You guys check it out.
Let's do this. Zach Zang Show.
Hello, beautiful human. We welcome to the studio. Correct us on your last name because Dan is convinced that it's pronounced something different. But I would say Baylee Littrell.
It's Littrell.
Littrell, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Told you.
like,
Yes.
Dan, how proud of yourself are you?
I'm very proud.
Littrell.
Yeah, literal, like literally, but
Is-
literally.
Is it weird that people know your dad but don't know how to say the last name properly?
You would think they would know, right? After like 26 years.
Because every time I hear somebody talk about your last name, I hear them say Littrell, Littrell, Littrell.
Right? They've just been saying that for that long.
Forever.
Yeah.
And no, you are Baylee Littrell.
Yes, that's right. I'm carving a new path.
What is that like? Do you feel like you need to be literal in everything you say when you say your full name?
I mean, from the first 10 seconds we started, I haven't been. So, I mean, for the most part, no.
We were talking about you running an Instagram for your dog.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
you literally run an Instagram for your dog.
I do. I'm going to promote it right here. It's King Willard. He's gonna go on. I need to get him verified. That would be amazing.
Is that the next step in your dog's fame journey?
I mean, you know what? If my career doesn't work out, I mean, which it's going to take a while to figure that out, but I'm going to just go full-fledged into Willie's Instagram. I mean, it's a career.
So this is your plan B.
Yes, this is more than a plan B.
Well, Willie's plan B, running his Instagram, even though it's like a side hustle right now.
Exactly.
It's not primary hustle.
Right.
But you did say something pretty interesting, which was right now your focus is music. But is there do you have like a limit in your brain of like, if I don't reach this by this moment in time, I'm gonna go and like do something else, like run my dog's Instagram page?
You know, like in all seriousness, I used to think like past a certain point, I'm going to figure out something else. If you love something enough, you won't give up. So in all seriousness, I'm just going to keep going until I get somewhere. I'm not going to stop.
Is it easier making music having a dad who's in the business, who's paved his own path, or is it harder?
It's both because you can get some really great connections and some really great opportunities. I mean, this tour, for example, but yet people also look down on you for having a famous dad. It's like, okay, well, we just don't want to like you because your dad is famous. We don't think you're talented because your dad is famous. And you're like, you know, like I have some great opportunities, but I definitely have to be able to back them up. So that's what I'm like prepared to do. Like, I'm like, all right, you know what? You can believe a certain thing, but I'm going to show you that it's not, you know, what you think.
You do have to prove yourself a little bit more than the average person.
And I mean, it's not a bad thing at all.
What are you learning? I mean, what are you learning from being on the road? Because you just played the Staples Center.
I'm just
Like,
saying,
what?
I'm falling in love with music and my job like more every single day. Like, it really shows me how to take in and literally appreciate every single performance because this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, can't get much better than this.
No, I mean, you're playing. This is your first tour, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a big stages.
Heck yeah.
I don't think,
Man.
To be honest, I don't think there's bigger. To be frank,
No, there's not.
what Staples Center is the Staples Center. you know?
I mean, I've like dreamt about like watching Kobe in the Staples Center my whole life, and then next thing you know, I'm walking down the halls that Kobe walked. I mean, what gets better than that?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been backstage at the Staples Center many times, but I've never thought once that I shared these halls with basketball players. I had no idea that they even played there.
But just 5 years down the road, people are going to be walking the Staples Center hallway, and they're going to be like, man, I was in the same hallway as Willie. King Willard. They're going to be like, he was in this hallway. Oh, yeah, and that guy, Baylee Littrell, whatever, but King Willard. I mean, big picture.
Stay humble. I like it.
Yeah.
Baylee, Baylee.
Yes.
A literal way to spell your name.
Yeah, but that's like the first time anyone's actually spelled it right. So, I mean,
Yeah, because there's a trillion other ways to spell Bailey, except for as obvious as that is.
Can you imagine me walking into a Starbucks, how hard that is?
Well, because nobody assumes that it's going to be phonetically spelled out.
Exactly. But sometimes I get Billy. And no matter how many times I correct them, they still say Billy. So I ordered a vanilla latte one time, and I'm like, yeah, my name's Bailey. They're like, Billy? I said, Bailey. They're like, Billy? I said, yeah, sure, my name's freaking Billy. I was like, I'm just put Billy on the cup. They did.
You give off Billy vibes.
You know, Billy would be a good side name, you know?
We're talking about a lot of side things.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the primary, the priority. We got
Yes.
2 records under your belt right now.
2 records under my belt. I got 3 singles under my belt.
3 singles.
Yeah.
So we run this beach,
Mm-hmm.
which to me sounds like you want to say bitch, but we're not. But then I watched the video and you're literally talking about the beach.
I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I was like, oh my God, that's funny. Like he's being like, we run this, but no.
And then you're like, oh, he's just talking about the beach.
The literal beach.
Yes.
Baylee Littrell being literally.
I'm being super literal in this song. I'm just proving a point.
But I really like Don't Knock It.
You like that song?
Yeah, so that one, that record came to you from Florida Georgia Line's publishing
Yes.
entity.
Yes, actually, all 3 songs came from there. So
we run this beach.
yeah, we run this beach, and Boxes, my other single. So all those came from Tree Vibes. Yeah.
When I think of Florida Georgia Line, I don't think of beach people.
Right.
You know, so it's,
Yeah.
but you're a beach person.
Definitely.
I feel like you had to think about that too long.
I just had a whole like flashback in my mind of like how many times I've been to the beach, and me and my mom will just run to the water. I mean, like my dad loves the beach, but he'll look back for like a split second and we're gone. We're to the sand, go into the water. But then you've got the other side, which is completely different. Like, I mean, I'm a Georgia boy, so I like trucking and mudding and riding horses.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, where is the beach close to Georgia? Where you go to Alabama?
We go
Florida?
to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to like the Panhandle.
I wish I could be a beach person like that. I'm
I
not.
mean-
I'm afraid of sand.
You're afraid of sand?
Yeah.
Well, you just love the crabs at night too, I bet.
No.
I mean, you just love that.
No, there's 1,000 things I'd rather be doing than hanging out with crabs on a beach at night.
See, that's where I can do both things. I can go to the beach, but yet go all like redneck with my friends, and we go out and catch big crabs. We're like, hey man, I got one.
Combines both
Yeah.
of your worlds.
Oh yeah, and then there's like this big restaurant called like the Crab Trap right there. So then we're like, hey, y'all need some crabs?
You sell your crabs.
Exactly.
It's a good business you have here. There's a lot of side hustles.
A lot of you got Willie too. I mean, he eats free everywhere. I mean,
That's amazing.
he's like worldwide famous. Canada loves him.
Word is the entire country of Canada likes my
Oh
dog.
yeah, I mean he claims it in his videos. I even have like a voice for Willard, so he's like, Canada loves me. You know.
And he's a Maltese and he speaks like that?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, he talks about I wasn't very educated growing up.
But like yet I see a Maltese with like fancy prissy women here in Beverly Hills.
I mean, he thinks he's that type of dog,
But he's not.
But in his heart, he knows that he's not. You know,
You
he's
spent
just,
a lot of time with Willard.
of course. I mean, I'm a psychologist as well, so I mean, he just confides in me.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, he also gives me a salary for that. So
How do you first have the conversation with your dad that you want to do music? Is that like any nerves going into that?
I mean, yeah, it was really uncertain because I wanted to do music, but it was always just a thought like, well, it's probably not going to happen. It's just an idea.
Why would you think that when you live with somebody who does music?
I mean, I don't know. I knew about the business and I knew about music, but I never really knew what it took or, you know, how, I mean, I thought, okay, it's going to be extremely hard. I should just stay out of it and all that stuff. That was just kind of what I thought. It was in the back of my mind, you know, thinking like, I don't know if it can really work, but I would absolutely love it if it could. So it was like almost 2 years ago now, me and my parents had dinner and I talked to them about it. I'm like, guys, I know this is hard, but I would really like to give it a shot. I'd like to get into music. And so then that's kind of how it all started. And I mean, they started making it happen. We started the process of building the Baylee Littrell brand, which spawned off to Willard's. I mean,
Your greatest accomplishment so far is
yes,
creating Willard's
exactly.
account.
Yes, getting him an Oscar.
Hey, beautiful human. I got these on Deal Dash. Yeah. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you about Deal Dash. This is a flashlight that I got from Deal Dash. I should stop waving it around. Deal Dash is pretty great. When I was first totally exploring the internet, I came across these bidding websites early on, 2008, 2009. I was just trying to get stuff cheap, and I was a kid, and they all scammed me. And then Deal Dash was born. They have rethought what it means to bid for things online. They've created a fair community, a fair place for you to actually spend your money honestly and to get really cool stuff in the process for a much cheaper price. If you're interested at all in exploring what Deal Dash is and what it means to bid on something, DealDash.com exists. There's going to be a link in the bio. They have reimagined what it means to bid. I want to wave this around because I'm so passionate about them, but that is not a good thing. I got this speaker. It's pretty cool from Deal Dash as well, but always free shipping when you use Deal Dash. I can try this stuff out and then return it. I have 90 days to do that. Plus, they're offering hundreds of auctions every single day on a ton of different stuff. Want a dashboard camera? I got one of those from Deal Dash. Sunglasses with many frames? I got one of those from Deal Dash. It's pretty cool. If you're actually interested in trying it out, I got a pretty cool deal for you. Right now, you can go to DealDash.com and get 100 bids with your first bid pack purchase. Go to DealDash.com and just enter the code ZachSang right now. DealDash.com. Zach Sang, you can start bidding today. By the way, people have gotten iPads for less than $24. They've spent $11 on televisions. Oh, 4K TVs? They've got it for under $2. DealDash.com. They literally have everything, and it's really the only place to bid fairly. So, I'm trying to think if my parents did what I do, and I had to sit down with them and be like, I want to do this. A part of me would be really nervous because I would feel like they'd either judge me every move I made because maybe in the part of their mind they think that this is the right way. Mm-hmm. But also I'd be like, am I about to share? You share your career with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Easy when it comes to making creative decisions, or do you feel like you need to collaborate with them on what is right for the Baylee Littrell brand?
Oh, we collaborate. That's for sure. We collaborate. My mom's the one with all the good ideas.
You look so genuinely happy when you say that.
I mean, yeah. Literally, my parents are my parents, but I'm definitely not ashamed to say that they're my best friends as well. So, I mean, my mom's my manager, and she's the best manager anybody could ask for. My dad's my musical director, helps in the studio. I mean, what gets better than that? Wow.
I feel like that's a lot of pressure, though.
I mean,
they're always around, and what if you up? Really? Let's call it what it is. Or if they mess up, how do you have that conversation with them?
I just kind of stand over in the corner looking like a Muppet, just thinking to myself, how am I gonna get out of this situation? No, literally, I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but we're the Littrells, we got this. I mean, I don't know how to I don't know. We've had any incidents. There might be some wood to knock on.
There is.
There is. But my mom is probably the most creative person I know, so she is always coming up with amazing ideas for what to do. My dad has the best ear possible for music. So, I mean, literally every decision is executive, but yet we've never had to disagree.
Are you writing records, or are you listening to records that you feel attached to? So I just actually started getting into the process of really making my own music come to life, because it would be great to write all your own music, but you don't know. I mean, there's so much better material out there. You think everybody wants to write their own music, but what's going to help you be the most successful? The music in your notes, or is there a better song out there that someone that is maybe way more talented than you has for you? So Tree Vibes and Florida Georgia Line's publishing company, they have some of the best songs I've heard that have been sent to me. 100%.
And but on the side to look into the future, I definitely will release a lot of my own material coming up. But
Because you like country music because it tells a story.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you can tell any story. I just wrote a song actually, and it's telling like a heartbreak story. I mean, it's very literal, just like the last name.
Is it your heartbreak story or is it somebody else's?
It's my heartbreak story mixed with anybody's. You know, it's like relatable, but yet it's not the exact situation. It's not the literal situation, but it's something close to it.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Can you say you've actually had legitimate heartbreak at 16?
Heck yes.
Oh.
I got my heart broken by my ex-girlfriend like 2 months ago, almost like literally shattered. Not afraid to say it.
What?
And it sucked, but I've written some really great songs about it, and it's something you just got to get through. So
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier is like, I listen to, like you said, do you write or do you listen to some really good music? Hardy, he's a country artist. He came out with a song called Sign Sober You, and we know I can't relate to that in every way because I don't get hammered and have to remind myself by a note on a fridge that my
Not
girlfriend
yet.
broke up with me. But I can look back and I use that song to remind myself every night, like, okay, you know, it's over. You got to face the truth. And it's probably for the better. You know, you have to think about all these thoughts, and that's how that song definitely gets me through when we talk about good music.
But when you're writing a record about your heartbreak, does it help you get through it? Or
Oh, yeah.
or is it still weighing on you?
It's like I would rather write about it than, you know, like express it to my best friend or something like that, because it's hard to talk about, like, you know, like, dude, she said this. Oh yeah, cool, man. What'd you say? You're like, this is not helping. Why don't I just write a song about it? So I've written like 3 or 4 songs actually about it, and right now, I wrote a song a couple months ago and never finished it, and I was like, okay, perfect time to finish this heartbreak song.
Uh-huh.
So I just finished one, and we were actually recording it last night. So
Cool.
yeah, in the dressing room, we record.
Look at this.
Get off stage, go record, go write.
A man on the road. What are you thinking over there, Dan?
What kind of music were you raised on?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandparents, of course, were what started my country influence. Then my mom brought like modern country into the mix, like Tim McGraw, like Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, so stuff like that. And then my dad, of course, collaborated with FGL. So then again, it was like, oh man, just country's what I connect with most. But I mean, I was raised on pretty much everything, like John Mayer, Def Leppard, I mean, Scorpions, a lot of rock as well. So
how did you know country was the lane for you?
you know, like, I'm born and raised in Georgia, so that was like definitely one of the reasons. It's just because that's what I hear a lot. I mean, my grandparents are a big staple in my life too, and it's what I connected with most. And I was like, if I'm gonna dive into this and I'm gonna give it all I have to be myself. Like, I have to be real. And I was like, what really touches my heart the most? What makes me happy? Whatever you're doing, you have to be happy. I mean, I hope you enjoy doing this because it's probably always what you wanted to do,
I hope so too.
right? Because that would be bad news if you didn't want to do this.
I'll get back to you.
But country music is definitely what I want to do, and I'm like, I don't want to have to, you know, do a different type of genre because it's more mainstream or widespread. If I'm going to do this, I got to be happy.
Country's a pretty widespread genre. I think it's
Right.
also a pretty tough genre to crack, and I think they
Oh,
look
heck
at
yeah.
all of the artists through a much tougher filter.
Yeah. And I've definitely learned patience, you know, acceptance and all of those things. And like, at the end of the day, if it's what you love, you know, like, take as long as you want. I'm still going to be here. And like, I hope you accept me,
That's
you know,
it.
because like, I've accepted country music in my heart. completely.
Consistency is key.
It is key.
And patience.
And I think with country, I don't think people can compare you and your dad because they're like, it's so different.
Right. It's like carving my own path, but not like, I had no reason to do country to get away from my dad, but
It's what you wanted.
yet it's like kind of my little own world away.
Mm-hmm.
When did you
you know.
first realize your dad was famous?
Oh my gosh, I told this earlier.
I'm so unoriginal.
So I always knew my dad was like famous. I just didn't realize what a big deal he was. And I was actually out here because we used to live here and in Georgia, so I was back and forth a lot. And me and my dad were going like to literally just get like milk at CVS, and I see this gigantic bin of CDs, and it's all Millennium like Backstreet Boys stuff, and I pick it up and I'm like,
bin? Is
oh
that
yeah,
what you're saying right now?
yeah, this is what I'm saying. And I see this, I pick up this CD, and I see my dad's face on it. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, it's Millennium. I was like, wait, I see this everywhere. I'm like, that's you? And he's like, yes, son, that's me. And I was like, well, you're a big deal. He's like, I've been telling you this.
But once you make it to the discount bin at CVS,
man, you've made it, you know?
you've crossed over to icon status.
It takes your son that long to figure out that you're a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, how many years has it been?
Couldn't just look it up on his phone. I had to see it on his CD in CVS on a 99-cent bin.
It's really funny. Wow. Pretty cool. You know, as I talk to you, I forget that he's your dad, so I think that's a plus.
Yeah,
You guys you look exactly the same though.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Which is a great
It's
thing. He's a
rumored.
handsome man.
It's rumored that we were cloned. You know.
Oh, really?
I haven't spent a lot of time like just staring at your dad, but you do have similar features.
Yeah, we got some like mannerisms that are the same too. Like I try to do my own thing, but when I'm on stage, it's literally like my dad comes over me and we like wave the same. We have the same leg kick. It's like the same. It's the same stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna embrace it. I mean, my dad's pretty legendary, so I think it'd be cool to have the same mannerisms. I mean,
Yeah.
not fighting it.
Before we embark on this tour, do we set a goal? Is there something that you want to accomplish by the tour's end? Is there something that you need to learn? Like, do you set goals at all?
Oh, I set too many goals to count beyond this tour. Definitely, I want to be the best I can be. And if I don't give it 100%, then I'm not satisfied. And I know when I'm on stage if it's 100% or if it's not. So I just get fired up. I'm thinking by the end of this tour, I want every single show to be consistent, 100%, and I want it to leave an impact on people. I mean, we could go on for goals forever. I would love to have eventually like my own custom Martin guitar. That would be great because I love Martin guitars.
Giddy
I
up.
would love to sell out arenas myself. I mean, I would love to have a Grammy. I've got so many goals, and I'm confident that I'll be able to accomplish them eventually if you put that into the atmosphere.
Dude, manifest it and work towards it.
But most importantly, Willie's career. I mean,
My dog on Instagram.
my dog, Willard.
What is it? What's his name?
Willard.
But what's his Instagram? I don't care about his
It's-
real name. I want his Instagram handle.
King_Willard.
Naturally.
Yes. Wait, Big Willard. Sorry.
Big Willard.
_Big Willard. Yeah.
Whose idea was it for you to join the tour? Was it your idea or was it your dad's idea?
It was kind of like, again, a joint decision. You know, my dad was like, it wouldn't be bad exposure if you were the opening act on the North American run. I was like, could we do that? And so then we called the guys and they were like, sure, let's do it. And so I got to thank them.
Are you
definitely,
first
too.
of 3? First of 4?
I am the first of, now we have, oh my gosh, I think there is 7 or 8 kids now out of the Backstreet Boys. Everybody has a child. And I am 6 years older than the second oldest. I mean, I'm the Kevin of the group.
Do you get along with the other kids?
I do. I mean, Kevin's my cousin, so I have two little
right,
cousins, Mason and Max. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
love
y'all are related in that group.
them. Yeah.
Weird.
We all kind of look alike too because they're both blonde. So
Does everybody else tour on the road?
they do. I mean, like everybody brings out their families now. Nick just brought out his son, and Odin, and he is so adorable. But he just came out yesterday. I was like, all right, now we got everybody on the road. We're set.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's so cool because I remember when like nobody had kids, and then now everybody's got kids.
Dan, when you have a kid, I don't want to meet it.
That's fine.
Keep it to yourself.
You won't get to.
Because he's not.
You won't. I will not allow you
Yeah.
to
No,
meet
no.
my child.
Joke's on everybody. Dan ain't having a kid. Because it requires somebody else to do that. I mean, not necessarily. It's 2019, and
Yeah, you can adopt.
yes, you should do that.
All right. I appreciate your advice. No, you mentioned Grammy. When your dad was here with the whole band, we were talking about how they've never won a Grammy.
Right.
Do you think you will win a Grammy before the Backstreet Boys?
That is a good question. I hope that they win a Grammy next year. when it's Grammy time. I mean, every year I think that they deserve Grammy more than anybody else in the world. Definitely more than me. But if it's a race, I mean, we'll see.
The race is on.
Right? I think they got a pretty big head start. But
I don't know, man.
a really big head start. But I mean, I can catch up, maybe.
If we run this beach is not nominated for a Grammy, then I'm going to be fuming.
Just break the TV.
It's a good question though, Daniel.
Well, do you have like an album coming out? Are you working on something that we could nominate you for?
Well, yes.
We'll nominate. We know
I'll
the guy.
nominate you. I'll write him a letter.
A letter of recommendation to the Grammys. I'm gonna come out with that album this fall. Actually, I have not decided an exact release date, but definitely very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, very soon. Finally. So I'm excited.
Now I have a question about a lyric in "Don't Knock It."
Yes.
What is white lightning?
White lightning is moonshine.
Oh,
Yes.
You obviously don't know, Dan.
I've never had moonshine, so I definitely don't know.
I've had moonshine.
What do you think of it?
Put some hair on my chest. It's terrible.
It never went away.
It's so. I mean, it's really an intense beverage to have, right? Like they're known for making it in bathtubs. Okay.
Yes, bathtubs. It happens.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Have you never seen?
You come down south, you'll see a lot of moonshine. That's for sure.
I love your southern accent.
Yeah, boy.
Well, Baylee Littrell, not Littrell. It was nice hanging out with you, man.
Thank you for.
Can I ask a
having me on.
ridiculous question?
Yes.
Were you allowed to listen to NSYNC when you were growing up?
I'm not even gonna comment, man. I'm not. Bye, man. Bye. I'm all Backstreet right here.
Well, I'm a
man.
Backstreet Boys guy too.
Backstreet blood.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Same. First concert ever.
No, but he's literally Backstreet Blood.
Yeah,
You're not.
Oh yeah, I
mean-
forgot about that.
I mean, we could prick our fingers, and then you could be Backstreet blood. But
Yes, we can swap blood.
yes, we could.
Dan wants that a little bit too much.
I'd be
Blood
honored.
brothers.
Baylee Littrell, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you, guys.
It means a lot. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.